Hi everybody, it's Eric from Eric's Adventures, and on today's video we're going to be installing a fuel tank skid plate. So garage is a little bit of a mess, don't mind that. I got this from RCI. It comes with these additional brackets that go up to the body of the car, and I'll show you. Here's the stock one. So there's bolts here, here, and there, and then on the inside they've got like little legs. Those are the brackets that go there. So yeah, this is what I'm going to be installing. So first thing is removing this. So I'm going to get these bolts first, and then I'm going to go underneath and get those brackets. I'll show you a video of that here real quick. Now I'm under the car. Here's the front end. So you've got this bracket. This is a 12mm bolt, and then back here you've got another one on this leg. So these are 12mm bolts, so I'll bolt those on the inside first, and then we'll go to the outboard side and get the ones that are on the frame. So there's those two brackets on the inner side, and then another one, you could see it's right here. You can get it through the wheel well, 12mm again. And then there are three more 12mm. So this one here, this one here, and then up here on the front. I've started taking these out. So the one on the inner rear side was a little bit of a pain. I had to actually drill that one out. This front one wasn't too bad, so let's get these pulled out and the OE skid plate will come off. That was the last one. Now I got the floor jack underneath to support it. So once I let this down, this whole thing will come out. Caught up here on the front side, but I think if I just, it's caught up here on the front side, so I just kind of grab it from the rear. There we go. So skid plate is off. Like I mentioned earlier, this rear inner side, the bolt rounded it off. So what I ended up doing was drilling it out. And so there's like a weld nut on there. I'll clean up the threads. If not, I'm just gonna drill it out and just put a normal like nut on the top side to hold the skid plate in. So here's the old and the new side by side. Obviously the legs are built in on the OE skid plate. On the new RCI one, you've got the brackets. So show you how that goes here in a little bit. But this one is way thicker, way heavier duty. One thing I don't love is you can see on the OE one, this sticks up pretty far on the front, but this one does not. There's a bit of a gap here. So I wish they did put in a flange, like at least here and here. But because I do have the transfer case skid plate, and you can kind of see the cross member that I had to add, that is like right here. And so I'm not too worried about this, because if I do hit a rock in that area, the transfer case skid is gonna grab that and it'll be fine. But way heavier duty. The other thing, I have long travel rear suspension. I know people have had issues with this. You can see right here, I was hitting the drive shaft during articulation. So what I'm gonna do is figure out exactly where that was and notch this out so that I end up not hitting it. So if you have long travel rear, during articulation, the drive shaft does get close and can hit the fuel tank skid. In your hardware kit, you're going to get 4 brackets and a bag of hardware. There's these, so you're going to use the shorter one for the 470. The longer one might be for a 4Runner or something else. This skid plate works for a bunch of them. but for the 470 specifically, you're going to use the shorter one. You've got this long one with a flange. This goes on the rear inboard side. This short one goes on the rear outboard side. This one is the one you can get in through the wheel well. So first thing I'm going to do is bolt these up to the vehicle, to the bottom, and then I'm going to lift the skid plate up into position and then bolt it down with the carriage bolts here. So here's the hardware kit. You're going to use a bolt and washer on these three. They're all the same length, and then these three are for the frame side. And then these three carriage bolts go in these three spots. So carriage bolts have these normal nuts, lock washers, and flat washers. So I've got the skid plate installed. This is what it looks like. Pretty beefy. So you've got the 3 bolts here that go into the frame. And here is your other bracket. You've got the carriage bolt down here. So I did this with the nut facing outboard. And then on the one on the inside, on the rear side, the nut is facing inboard so that the flat, smooth side of the carriage bolt is close to the drive shaft. And then on the front side, inboard, the nut is facing outboard or towards the other side of the car because there's enough space. I used a floor jack with a spreader to lift it into place. This makes it a lot easier. And yeah, if you have a normal floor jack, you can balance it, but having the spreader just makes it so much simpler to distribute the load of the skid plate. Overall, huge difference compared to the stock one. This one's pretty flimsy. Glad I was able to do it before going on some more wheeling trips. But yeah, if you liked the video, found it useful, give it a like, comment if you have any questions, and subscribe to the channel to see more content. See you next time.